Disney is trying to take credit for Bluey's success. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is my for real life friend, Mr. Vash Sky. Vash, how you doing this morning?
I am doing very, very well. Thank you so much for having me on here, Jonas, talking about Bluey again. Oh man, eventually I got to get around to actually.
Yeah, is it your favorite show yet?
Actually, binging
is it your
that
favorite show yet, Vash? I know this is a show that if you haven't watched it, you don't get it, and generally people like it. There are some people who hate it. In fact, I do remember one commenter who absolutely hated this. So this out of the WaltDisneyCompany.com, how Disney helped Bluey become a global phenomenon ahead of its first extended length special. This is just talking about how the special is coming up, and it came out on Sunday. We're talking about this on Monday morning. If you've seen it, it was really good. No spoilers, but I will say the premise of the episode is, one, it centers around a wedding, and a heterosexual wedding at that, which is very off-brand for Disney. And it also centers around the moving sign that is in front of the Healer family's house. And I'll just say things get emotional, and it's very well done. 28 minutes. They did 28 minutes very well for a show that is generally 8 minutes long. So thanks to global broadcasting deal between Disney branded television and BBC Studios Kids and Family, millions of fans around the world have been touched by Bluey's heartfelt and humorous portrayal of family life and its celebration of play. In fact, the award-winning and critically acclaimed animated series begins 2024 as the #1 most streamed series across all audiences and the #1 series for preschoolers and kids overall in the U.S. per Nielsen. I see some issues here. First of all, Disney branded television. This is not Disney branded television. This is television that happens to be on Disney. Bluey is not a Disney show, despite what Disney wants you to believe. Disney had no hand in making this. This is not BBC Studios doesn't even have a hand in making this. They have the international licensing from Australia. International meaning not Australia in this case. Usually that means outside of the United States. In this case, it means BBC Studios got the license from Australian Broadcasting Company, not to be confused with ABC that's owned by Disney. And they negotiated with Disney and said, here, pick this one up. As we've covered on this channel, Vash, how much does Disney believe in Bluey? Or did they in 2019, I should say?
Well, yeah. So they didn't believe in it that much because they could have, from what we understand, could have gotten the theme park rights and a couple of other rights. I believe including merch as well, consumer product, for a song and dance back in the day. But they said, nah, we got so many great brands. We got so much great content coming to Disney Plus, especially with that $70 billion Fox acquisition. There's no need to pick up anything more than this. We'll just go ahead and we'll toss it on the platform, and well, that'll be it. We'll rid our
right. And just to be clear, to restate what you're saying in different words, Disney at the time that they were courting Bluey, it was an also ran on Disney Junior and other platforms that Disney happens to own. And they were specifically focused on things that they made themselves. So Disney was like when Tom Brady was picked up as like a 5th or 6th round draft pick. It was not because he was the top of the line here. They kind of lucked out with that one, and then he became the guy who statistically wins more Super Bowls than anyone else.
199 overall selected, by the way, 6th round. Just putting it out there.
Oh, well, thank you for pointing that out. I'm not actually a Tom Brady fan. It's my favorite statistic when someone asks me who's going to win the Super Bowl, regardless of who's playing. Statistically speaking, it's going to be Tom Brady. But now that I've enraged a certain part of our fan base, I also want to point out that over here on the DisneyStore.com, not to be confused with Shop Disney, they do have Bluey merch. Finally, I've heard that this was a big get for the Disney company here. We have all of this. I'm going to say exclusive, but it's not exclusive. Bluey merch that's over here on the website. See, Bluey button-down shirt for kids by Results. That is not a Disney company. Bluey bedding set for twin beds. This Bluey talking plush for $13. Bluey family action. All of this stuff. This is generic. And when I say generic, I mean it's branded to Bluey, but this is nothing that is exclusive to the Disney store. You can pick up the same stuff as Target at Target. Doesn't have a Disney label on it. You might also notice that if you go pick up the DVDs, which is a much more economical way to watch Bluey, you can get those at almost any store, and it says, I believe it says BBC Studios on it, if not Australian Broadcasting Company on it. This is a show that Disney did not believe in, and now accounts for, according to Bloomberg, Vash, how much of television streaming on Disney Plus is accounted for strictly from Bluey viewership.
I think the percentage out there is about like what, a third or 30%.
That's right, 30% of all views on Disney Plus are television views are Bluey. With that being said, let's go over here to another figure. This one out of Yahoo Finance. This was sent to us by a very helpful Twitter handle called Now It's Known, or Mac at NOWITSKNOWN. But this chart right here is streaming claims largest piece of TV viewing pie. This is all TV viewing right here. And we just want to point out that YouTube right here represents 9.3% of all streaming. One company representing 9.3% of all TV viewing, then followed by Netflix. So Netflix is number 2 in the space, despite what people like Bob Iger would say. Right. Other streaming, I don't even want to contemplate what that might be. Just got to say, guard your heart, folks. Hulu right here is 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's see, Prime Video 5, Disney Plus representing 1.9% of all streaming. So if we say that movies represent about 10% of Disney Plus viewership, so let's see, 1.9, we'll subtract out 10% there, so only 1.71% of that being television. And then if we take that down to say 0.33% of that, so 0.56% of all streaming is Bluey, a show that Disney has no hand whatsoever in making, and they lucked out by getting it on their streaming service. By the way, they did not on earnings calls talk about Bluey at all until it became the only show on Disney Plus that people were watching on a consistent basis. Everything else struggles, it flags, it lowers. The numbers for Loki season 1 to the numbers for Loki season 2, despite subscriber numbers skyrocketing. And there's more on that. If you need an asterisk, we're going to talk about streaming on this channel very soon. The numbers went down in people who were actually watching it, despite subscribers going up. So right here, we have a show that Disney Plus, I'm going to say it again, did not make. That accounts for 1/3 of all streaming. If they lost this show, Disney would be the loser, not Ludo Studios that makes Bluey. Is there anything wrong with what I've just said, Vash?
No, I think you're absolutely right. And think about the content spent. Think about what Jonas is saying here. Okay, they got this for, like you said, essentially a song and dance. When you compare the cost of producing these huge series, like $200 million towards, I don't know, Secret Invasion, for example, or plus $100 million towards Willow, and all these things that they spent money to create, and it doesn't do near the numbers that Bluey does. I mean, it's absolutely extraordinary, and this is the albatross hanging over the neck of the entire company. Think about how much they've leveraged in terms of just content spend to get to where they are right here. And like you said, a third of their television streaming performance is wrapped up in a series that they have no control over.
Yep. And we just want to remind everyone, for every single time you see one of those Mandalorians, Lokis, Ahsokas, those cost $200 million a piece. I'm going to say it. I don't think that Bluey cost that much to make. If Disney is what caused Bluey to be a global success, well, then Disney, do it again. Make another one on your own. See how well that works out for you. I just think this is a ridiculous statement on Disney's part. And as we've often said on this channel, Disney has found a parade that is already in motion, ran out in front of it, and declared themselves the Grand Marshal. I don't think that this is an accurate statement, and I think this is pixie dusting by the pixie dusters in chief. But that being said, we want to throw this to our commenters here. What do you think about this? Are you a fan of Bluey? Have you watched the latest episode? Did you catch that little line that one of those kids threw in there about having two moms? It didn't escape my attention. Of course, if you like this video, well, then maybe you should like this video. And of course, consider subscribing to That Park Place for all the new... Oh, wait, by the way, we have a new channel. It's T3PO Online. You should go check that out right now. It's linked in the comment section in the description down below. All right. Stay tuned to That Park Place, though, for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Place News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.